Hey, what's up? In this short video, I'm going to talk about what a prompt is and my personal prompting principles for interacting and collaborating with ChatGPT. So what's a prompt? Just very briefly, quickly, a term that is used for the words you use to talk to an artificial intelligence, in this case, ChatGPT. So an example for prompt could be here, like I'm gonna read the second one. I need to prepare for a salary negotiation. Also, I heard that Chris Voss is very good at negotiations. Can you help me learn about his experiences and tactics? How can you specifically support me? This just, would be an example of a prompt. Think of like when you hear people talk about, hey, like, have you heard of this and that prompt? This is what they mean. So they mean like a combination of words, sentences, like pretty much commands that people use to talk to an artificial intelligence. All right, so what are my personal principles when it comes to ChatGPT prompting? Number one, I call it garbage in, garbage out. So basically it means the better, the more specific, and I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes, the more specific your input for the machine, for ChatGPT, the better and the more nuanced will your output be. And this ties well into the second principle too. Like the second principle, using real variables makes the output more relevant, creates fewer hallucinations. Like remember that example from the previous page there when I read the prompt to you that like included a reference to Chris Voss. Now, you might not know Chris Voss. I actually know him from my previous work experience, and that is what I mean by real examples. So you can take knowledge that you have used in the past and that you already know works well. And I know, for instance, that Chris Voss is a highly regarded negotiator. So I used, this reference, this real variable to make my prompt more relevant, and it helped me to rely better even on the output because I knew that ChatGPT then would rely on Chris Voss's principles too, and that would create less and fewer hallucinations actually. The third principle, imagine or take on the following role prompt. So what you can do is you can use an imagine prompt and say, hey, ChatGPT, imagine you are the world's best career coach and in the past you've helped more than 100,000 people find fulfilling careers. Tell me, XYZ, tell me what the 10 principles were that you applied. And this is great actually, because then you can access all the knowledge that ChatGPT can refer to and can access and have it presented to you. Then the fourth principle, let it create tables, let it write emojis. What I do a lot actually is I obviously let it create tables. So I was once interested in understanding what the most relevant jobs of the last 30 or 50 years were and wanted to see what ChatGPT thinks the most relevant jobs of the next 30 to 50 years might be. And I had it, present that query back to me in a 2-column table. And in the one table, it listed all the jobs that were relevant in the last 50 years. And then in the second table, it listed all the jobs that it thought might be relevant in the next 30 to 50 years. And then I had it, include emojis to make the output more readable. So that is possible. So don't let yourself be limited, especially ChatGPT or the model behind it. It gets better and better, and very soon I guess ChatGPT plugins will be out there and ChatGPT will gain more and more capabilities. For instance, being able to create graphs and all that. The second to last principle, ChatGPT can create predictions. I already talked about that a little bit. Based on all the knowledge ChatGPT has access to, you can ask it, hey, based on all the challenges that the world is facing, but also the most recent technology trends, what would be, in your opinion, or what will be the hottest technologies or what will be the hottest sectors in the next 10 to 20 years. And it'll give you a list based on its knowledge. And that is what I would call prediction. So I use it sometimes to get a glimpse of, to get an idea of what might happen in the future. And then ChatGPT remembers the context from one chat, but not from other chats. That's relevant too, because like every time you start a new chat, this is knowledge that ChatGPT will not forget. You can refer to that knowledge, whatever you share within that one chat, but you can't, if you, let's say you have started 10 different conversations, 10 different chats, you can't tell ChatGPT in one chat, hey, I want you to summarize our conversations, our other 9 conversations, and give me, the top 5 bullet points of what we talked about. This will not work. So this is important to know for the way you collaborate with ChatGPT.